working in our PhDs, actually.
Yeah.
And we accidentally happened across better search technology.
Yeah.
So we didn't even intend to build a search engine. We just sort of fell into it.
Yeah.
And we started downloading everything on the web, and we started doing interesting research on it. And we actually went to Yahoo. Once we had something interesting, we went to David Filo, who's one of the founders of Yahoo.
Right.
So this is great search technology. Why don't you guys make a company, and maybe we'll use you someday. And we sort of went off, and we continued doing our research for a long time.
So David said that to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And eventually, we actually started a company. We finally broke down and said, oh, we're not quite going to finish our PhDs right away. We're going to start a company to get this thing out into the world.
The second serve. Everything behind every shot, and there it is.
Venus Williams.
Venus Williams, the U.S. Open champion. 6'2", 6'4", over younger sister Serena Williams.
Secure that gun! Got covering fire! Yes, sir!
Самостоятельно, без давления, наш мудрый, спокойный.
The 2001 presidential election process failed to meet the OEC commitments for democratic elections. A campaign of intimidation directed against opposition activists, domestic observation organizations, opposition and independent media, and a smear campaign against international observers.
I think it's a nanomole. But it could be a gigabit. I'm not sure I can go. I just don't think I can do this one. I don't think it's a megatron. And I have to say, I don't think I've heard of a Google. I really do think it's a Google.
But you thought it was a nanomole. And you've never heard of a Google.
I don't think it's an nanomole. Megatron, mega, yeah. I don't think it's Megatron. I'm sure it's Google. Surely.
Just making you aware of exactly how you are. No one's ever lost £468,000 before.
No, it's a Google. I think it's a Google. I'm going to play Google. Yeah.
Final answer.
Final answer.
You just won €1 million!
An average American family works an entire year to generate $6,000 in income taxes. Here we spill many times that amount every hour by duplication and by inattention. That's wrong. Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
We cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
We cannot share information from floor to floor in this building because it's stored on dozens of different technological systems that are inaccessible or incompatible. We maintain 20 to 25% more base infrastructure than we need to support our forces, at an annual waste to taxpayers of some $3 to $4 billion.
C7 Eyewitness News.
Tonight, concern and outrage from parents about a party where a stripper performed for high school football players. Plus, we're live in Denver for a wrap-up of tonight's showdown between the Giants and the Broncos.
And most of you sitting through the city with 1.25 inches of rain.
Inch and a quarter?
Inch and a quarter. That was the rainfall total for the park. Walk over to the wall. We'll show you what it looks like. This shot showing you lower Manhattan. And everything is actually in pretty good shape now.
And then we heard a plane come over. And in Manhattan, you don't hear planes too often, especially loud ones.
Appear that there's any kind of an effort up there yet. Now remember, oh my God.
Oh my God.
That looks like a second plane.
Terrible. I did not see a plane go in. That just exploded.
We just saw another plane coming in from the side.
You did. That was out of
Yes, and that's the second explosion. You could see the plane come in just from the right-hand side of the screen. So this looks like it is some sort of a concerted.
Yes, plane. Get ready.
Must.
Yes, must. Boys and girls, pick your reader up from Send 60 on page 153. At the count of 3, everyone should be on page 153. If the yellow paper is going to bother you,
Play with her goat.
Try it again. Get ready from the beginning of that sentence. Get ready.
She played with her goat in her house.
Go on.
She played with her goat in her yard.
Good job. Go on.
But the goat.
Take two. Take 2 and 2, 1. This is as close as we can get to the base of the World Trade Center. You can see the firemen assembled here, the police officers, FBI agents, and you can see the two towers. A huge explosion now raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way.
This is not a battle between the United States of America and terrorism, but between the free and democratic world and terrorism. We therefore here in Britain stand shoulder to shoulder with our American friends in this hour of tragedy, and we, like them, will not rest until this evil is driven from our world.
The pictures of airplanes flying into buildings, fires burning, huge structures collapsing, have filled us with disbelief, terrible sadness, and a quiet, unyielding anger. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat. But they have failed. Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America.
One memory card. One memory card.
It's not all the photos, it's just a little bit of it.
One memory card, and then controller.
She's taking a look at the sectors that were in the most trouble, and first among them, the airline sector. No one is surprised by this. Airlines obviously are being hammered today. Insurance companies not doing well. We noted Disney stock. Disney also is affected by the general economy, but also by people's willingness to get on airplanes and go to theme parks. And Disney was having a tough day. It has not been since December 31st, 1998, that the Dow Industrials have been below 9,000. They are now.
2001. Letters postmarked Trenton, New Jersey that later test positive for anthrax are sent to NBC anchorman Tom Brokaw and the New York Post. The letters are part of the anthrax scare that kills 5 people and infects more than a dozen others just weeks after the September 11th terror attacks.
Our enemy is a radical network of terrorists and every government that supports them. Our war on terror begins with Al-Qaeda, but it does not end there. It will not end until every terrorist group of global reach has been found, stopped, and defeated.
Music brought them together.
We're on our way, baby!
Fame could tear them apart.
They need us to go together. Don't forget that.
But love...
He's here!
will never let it end.
To us.
Mariah Carey. Glitter.
300 tons of ammonium nitrate in the nearby AZF factory blew up with a blast that measured 3.4 on the Richter scale. Michel was knocked senseless and suffered severe lesions to his head, and he counts himself lucky.
We went through that explosion. We suffered physically. We lost our jobs. We lost our homes. A lot of people sadly lost loved ones.
And liberating strife, who more than self the country love, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God.
Witness the beginning of the Star Trek saga.
Starfleet seems to think that we're ready to begin our mission.
Don't screw this up. The first captain.
Request permission to get underway. Take her out, Mr. Mayweather.
The first crew.
They have 2 settings, stun and kill. It will be best not to confuse them.
The first trek into the final frontier.
Neptune and back in 6 minutes.
Guten Abend, meine Damen und Herren. Am Vormittag, etwa um 10:30 Uhr, drang ein bewaffneter Mann in den Kantonsratssaal in Zug ein, wo eine ordentliche Sitzung des Parlaments in Anwesenheit der Regierung stattfand. Der Mann, in der Zwischenzeit als Friedrich Leibacher, 57, aus Zürich identifiziert, schoss um sich.
I give you the Derek Zoolander Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good.
What is this?
A center for ants? What?
How can we be expected to teach children to learn how to read if they can't even fit inside the building?